Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. After an also successful white strips launch a while back, we are back with a product aimed at improving consumers' lives by the launch of the new Crest White Strips Advanced Seal. The presentation is aimed at evaluating the feasibility and viability of launching the Crest White Strips Advanced Seal in the United States market. The aim of launching this product is to improve and make consumers' lives easier. Now, this product is better than the original because it stays longer in the mouth and it does not slip from the teeth. It also keeps the consumer's breath fresher for longer. My name is Mandaselo Luhlongwane, and I'm here to present the base case scenario for the launching of this product. And when we look at this NPV analysis, we see that the number of units sold from the first year to the fourth year is 2 million units, with an expected sales of $44 million. When we look at the net profits after tax, we see that we have generated, or rather we're expecting to generate 8.4 million Rand. The net working capital that the company is aiming or projecting to invest is a good 440,000, which will be recovered at the end of the fourth year. And we see that the CFFA from the first to the third year is 7.3 million and 7.8 million in the fourth year due to the working capital that will be recovered. NPV for this scenario, the base case, amounts to $19.4 million, and using the average quarterly exchange rate of 14.69 rands to the dollar, we get 286 million rands. Our NPV is positive, and therefore the project can be accepted. Furthermore, we look at the break-even analysis, where we look at our accounting break-even point, which is 750,000 units. And when we look at the present value break-even point, which takes into consideration the economic factors, we get 953,000 units that are expected to be sold. In order for us to break even, that means we make a zero profit. Now, looking at what we have projected, we see that the company will make a profit because we have projected a 2 million units to be sold, which means that we are in the profit region of our revenue and sales. My colleague Keegan will continue analyzing the scenarios. I thank you.
Here's our scenario analysis for our new product, Crest White Strips. All our scenarios yield a positive NPV. In scenario 1, we are allocating $10 million to advertising costs in year 1. This results in 150,000 more units being sold in that year. In the subsequent years, our advertising costs revert to $6 million, and the result of that is that we are able to sell 50,000 more units on a residual basis annually. The NPV for this scenario is 275 million Rand. Scenario 2, we are looking into the possibility of finding a new ingredient to make our product much better. This new ingredient would require $1.5 million in capital expenditure for machinery. We are able to increase our price to either $23 or $24. If we increase our price to $23 as in option 1, we are able to sell 2.6 million units annually. The NPV for this option is 362 million Rand. Option 2, with our price at $24, we can now only sell 2.3 million units annually. Our NPV is lower at 352 million Rand. In scenario 3, Our updated base case is 450,000 additional cannibalization of premium products. This is because we are cognizant of the fact that if we have to implement scenario 2 option 1's price range, that we'll have to cannibalize some of our products that we currently sell. The NPV of this updated base case is 289 million rand. We can mitigate against this. Mitigation option 1 states that we are trying to replace our current line, both the basic products in our current line and the premium products in our current line, with this new product, Crest White Strips. The NPV of this is 305 million rand. In mitigation option 2, we are now scaling back on the costs of Crest White Strips. We're also adopting a more conservative approach, and there's lower cannibalization. NPV, however, is 291 million rand for this mitigation option. If we have to implement this project and proceed with it, I suggest that we accept mitigation option 1, which is to replace our current line with Crest White Strips. I will now send you over to my colleague, Nhlakanipo, who will now give you the risk assessment as well as the final decision that we took.
Thank you, Nandase. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tani Pogunene, and I'll be taking you through the last section, which is key considerations for product launch as well as the final decision. The key considerations before launching the products include thoughts about the product design, how we will accelerate growth in sales, as well as the risk factors the company will be exposed to if we indeed decide to launch Crest White Strips. After identifying our target markets, we should carefully assess the product design of our closest competitors in order to evaluate the key improvements in the functioning of our products in order to make it easier for the consumers to use. We will also increase the range of flavors in order to increase our consumer base, and additionally, in the design phase, P&G should pay special attention to the product durability, which would mean using the right materials for packaging in order to preserve the products and keep it fresher for longer. When it comes to accelerating growth in sales, this can be achieved through an aggressive marketing and advertising campaign, which includes sponsoring major sporting and social events to increase the product's awareness. In addition, you would have to facilitate an increase in the product rollouts in order to make the product more widely available for the public to purchase. Risk factors to consider when launching the products include financial risk, market risk, and sustainability risk. Financial risk is a possibility of losing money on an investment. We need to take into account the likely macroeconomic conditions at the time of launch, any cost implication of product defects, as well as supply chain issues. And we need to have contingency plan in the case of such events. Market risk is a risk of the firm being in financial distress due to changes in the markets. And since P&G is a multinational company, changes or fluctuations in foreign exchange rates would pose serious risk of losses for the company on the day of financial reporting and sale. This, though, can be avoided through hedging away of risk. Sustainability risk is a possibility that as time goes by, consumers will stray away from the products for newer ones. P&G should therefore constantly look at ways to improve the products and innovation in order to prevent the customers from leaving. Finally, to reiterate the recommendations of my colleague Nondisile Fumane before me, the NPV of all scenarios, including the base case, are positive, and a positive NPV means the investment is positive and will therefore be profitable and create value for the shareholders and the company, and should therefore be accepted. This is regardless of all the risks it might pose, since as the company has been in the industry for a long time and therefore has gathered enough expertise to be able to mitigate such risks. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.